Hey, another building video here. Last time, made a tar pit with some mammoths. I think I might have been too hard on myself with the little mammoth guy here. Of course, like, the face shape, head shape, could be a bit better, but he's not awful. He's just, could be better, probably. But, that was last time. And let's see what we're doing this time. Again, you probably know the deal by now, if you've been watching these regularly. I got a block to pick from, prompt, and size. I've got to use end rods today. My prompt is hot, and the size I'm working with is still a 1 by 1. Alright. What can I do with hot and end rod? What is hot? I could do like an oven. Oven could be fun. Yeah, let's go for an oven. Build up a base for it. Fun little detail I can add is like if I use slabs down here instead of like standard brick blocks, I can put some dust or something underneath. That could be fun. Definitely feel like it could use something. Oh, that's an idea. I could swap out some of this innermore stuff for a different block, and that could possibly give the impression of like more of an oven door instead of just like one flat pane. Does that make it feel more like an oven door? Maybe. Then I could add like a hinge down at the bottom using deep clay brick stairs. Cool, potentially. I could also use the stairs to, uh, how about up here? I was thinking end rods for, like, the bar, but that might be a little too thin based on the scale I'm going for. I'll just have to find somewhere else to put my rods. I'll also need to find something else to do for the bar, but that won't be too tough, I don't think. I could just do something like this. If I do that, that could be better. Maybe use polished instead of bricks, just for the block variety. That might be decent. Sure, I'll leave it. Now, for the oven bit. I think the inspiration to build an oven partially came to me because I just baked some cookies. They're pretty good. I have a big cookie right next to me right now because every time I bake cookies, when it's starting to like run down and finishing up all the batches, I take a bunch of the dough and then just make a really big cookie. So I've got one of those next to me right now. I'm probably going to eat it at some point while filming. Maybe put this up one more. Then fill in the sides. Probably just use slash fill to speed things up. There we go. Now I've got all the sides filled in. Starting to look a bit better. Now let's put in some of the racks. Will be a good oven rack material. I could do some chains. Yeah, let's go for chains. I'm gonna need, preferably want something to cap it off at the end. Potentially like some blackstone or something. Maybe I could use like a dark oak shelf instead. I think that might be too big of a gap. Then I can like put these on the edge here. Probably want to add like the things that it attaches to on the back. Oh wait, these things usually like slot into grooves on the side, don't they? I could put those in. If I give it a bit of this. Potentially. Yeah, let's go for it. Anybody who's been waiting for a longer, like, not longer, but another scripted Redstone video, don't worry. I've got plans for one of those. I'm just continuing to do these because, like I've mentioned at some point, they're fun, they're easy to edit. That's pretty much it. They're fun and easy to edit. Oh, and a quick reminder, if you want to suggest something to add to the droppers for my next episode of this, feel free. I would love to get you people in on this. That sounds more fun than me just like doing it all on my own with no input from anybody else. Currently realizing I don't really know how most ovens heat themselves up. Is there like a heating element at the bottom here? I don't know. Let's put a heating element at the bottom. I could do magma blocks, but I was considering putting that on top as like a stove bit. Maybe shroom lights instead. Sure, that can be the heating element. Black stained glass on top, and then I can fill in the rest with other stuff. Maybe? Fill in the top of this quick. Just to get a feel for the tinted glass and how it looks from the outside. That's not bad. Maybe it is a bit bright with the shroom lights. Maybe I should be using the magma blocks instead. Probably need a little bit more light, but that's okay. That can come from the stovetop up here. Because if I do black stained glass, now I can put in like magma blocks as little burners where you would put your soup. Not sure if I'm a huge fan of this right now, but it might just be because all of the bricks here blend in with the bricks on the outside, so maybe if I use tiles for the darker block, that could help out. I don't know why I'm grabbing the tile block like I'm actually going to use it. Boop. Yeah, I think that's a little better now. And it gives me a little more light, although I probably want to cover that up with something. So if I just do some of that, maybe throw in some deep slate tile slabs on top. And yeah, I think I'm liking that a fair amount. Kind of weird to be baking nothing. Maybe I should probably put something in there. Maybe that's where I can put my end rod. Probably do want to build up a back plate here for all the dials. What food do I want to put inside them? What could be good? What would have something that looks like, well, I guess end rods would mess with all the lighting I've got going. It's not horrible. I can probably still use it, the end rods. But what would have something shaped like an end rod that you throw in the oven? You can bake cookies, you bake cakes, you can bake bread, you can bake pie. I already built a pie, it's a slice of pie. What else? While I'm thinking about that, I probably want to move this down if I'm putting something in here. So, I can do /clone to just move this down. Clone it there. Then I can fill with air. Okay. What am I putting in here, huh? Maybe this can just be like a part of the pan. If I just like polish andesite. Does this look like a baking pan? It's a bit square, but I think it works. Now I can just throw in some cookies. Heck yeah. Oh, I can even throw in leaf glitter as chocolate chips. Does that look good? I think it looks pretty good. Maybe it's a bit on the overboard side, so like tone it down a bit. I wish you could place 2 leaf glitters diagonally, but that's just like, I guess that's just the limitations of block states. I think I like that. I'll leave that be. And now I've used my end rod. Nice. And for up here, I'm liking the stove. Just gotta get some dials in. Unfortunately, there's no gray wood. I would love a gray wood so much. For now, I guess I can go mangrove. Then I just need something to act as the actual dial. Grindstone could be a fun thing. If I do something like this. Yeah, I think I like that. Then actually, like, all of these could be, I guess the off state is usually up, isn't it? All of these could be off, and then this one could be on. Which means I could dim the rest of them with, like, something, probably. Maybe replace all this with tinted glass. Maybe. Yeah, if I use basalt, I could give the impression of, like, I could keep the impression of the burner, but without the glowiness, as to indicate that it's, like, turned off. Now it looks like I've just got one burner turned on, because of the dial, the glowing burner. Yeah. And then I got some cookies in the oven. I can probably replace all of these with slabs now. There we go. I think this is cool. I like this oven. I guess I never did put dust down here, so let's do that quick. Good floor block. Maybe just like stripped spruce. There we go. Now I've got my floor in, and then I can just make this a bit dusty down. If I go maybe some andesite, maybe some pale moss. That is a bit like aggressively dusty. Oh, I can also just start piling it up down there. If I use pale moss carpets, it could look a bit better. I could give it that depth. And I can just like, I do this. Modifier add, call it shrink. 0.75. Add multiplied base. I can shrink myself down to here. So I can do just a quick little slash fill. Nice. That finishes that. And I can remove my modifier. And there we go. I've got an oven. I think this oven is cool. Dust could probably use some work. I like the cookies and the little heating element and the baking rack. I definitely like these dials. The, like, indicator bit probably could use some work. I like the stove heating element and how these ones look like they're turned off and this one looks like it's turned on. I quite like this oven. So, that's the end of this one. Thank you for watching. Remember, just like suggest some prompts, suggest some blocks you want to see me use, and have fun doing some redstone.